Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to the week one of the learning pipeline. We currently have three people live on this call, so I think we should wait additional 5 minutes for others to join. Then we can kickstart. Thank you for joining. And if you can hear me clearly, please, I want you to drop to the chat. If you can hear me clearly, please just drop it in the chat. Thank you. Okay, welcome everyone. Good afternoon, Jola. Okay, all right. Okay, so we have 15 people live in this call. Um, once it's 2:03, I think I'll just start. Then others will join us along the way. Okay, good afternoon once again, everyone, or good morning or good day. Depending on where you are joining from, because we have people from I would say all over the world. In our community, not just Nigerians. So I want to congratulate every one of us, for registering for this cohort, and this is the first ever cohort for this community. And in the cohort, as we know, we have two pipelines: the learning pipeline and we have the job pipeline. So the learning pipeline is strictly for newbies, while the job pipeline is for juniors, intermediate, and seniors. And the reason for that is because as a newbie you shouldn't be thinking about getting a job, right? Like, you don't have the skill, so why think of getting a job? The first thing you should like be worried about is how to acquire the skills. So that is why I splitted those two pipelines, so that everyone, like, so that this community can be beneficial to everyone. So today, September 2nd, 2023, is the kickoff, and the first week is kickoff and understanding UX design. So um, in today's for today's call or meeting, we have 4 point agenda, which is okay. Just a minute. Okay. Okay. So for this week, we have 4 point agenda. Is to talk more about the curriculum, the course curriculum. The second one is to talk about this week's activity. The third is to share the resources we are going to be using or we're going to need for this week's activity, and the last one is the Q&A. So our weekly call is going to be it's going to be short. It won't be long as our inaugural meeting, but in between we'll be having experienced designers, senior designers. We'll be having, other people in the space to come and, share their thoughts, talk to us on some starting topics, right, along the line. So, as we keep progressing, all those things will be communicated to us in the Slack channel. Um, so heading to the next slide is the core curriculum. We already have this on the channel. It's just a breakdown of all the activities we are going to be doing for the 12-week, curriculum. But one thing I want to let us all understand is that um, 12 weeks is not enough, to learn all of these things perfectly. If you can, master them, if you can dedicate time to learning all of these things, then you can be so confident to say that, yes, I'm now a UI UX designer or a product designer. So now, some of these things also, like looking at the activities for each week, is something achievable, right? If you have enough time on your plate, right? If you can dedicate, or like, let's say 12 hours, or let's say 10 hours in a day to just go through all of these things, learn all these weekly activities, you can actually achieve them. But we know that everyone is doing other things, right? We are working, we're trying to put ends meet and all of that, so it can be difficult. But one thing is, if you are trying to pursue something, you always like create time, to get it done, right? I know that for sure because I've been there, right? You just make sure you get it done. So I want us to dedicate time to all these things. I want us to take it with all our hearts. So another thing I also want to tell us is, this is not, I grouped us into groups. For the newbie, we have for the learning pipeline, we have 4 groups, right? So another thing is, this thing is not like a group work, right? It's not a group work where one person will now be running around to say, oh, have you learned this? Oh, have you done this week's activity? Oh, have you no, right? It's an individual journey, right? It's an individual journey whereby everyone needs to learn this on their own. All the materials, all the resources that is going to be shared is well explanatory enough. What the group is about is to say that, okay, let's say as you're learning UX design and you come about something, or just want to, it's just accountability partner, right? So you just say, oh, Tayo, what's up? Have you learned this thing? Oh, I'm currently here. Oh, where are you? How can I come in? How can I help? So it's just to help one another in the learning process, right? It's not to say that, oh, okay, we are doing this as a group. No, it's just to check up on one another, to help one another in the learning process and all of those things. I'm very sure that we understand that very, very well. Yeah. So the next is to now talk about the activity for this week. As we can see on the core curriculum, the activity for this week, the title is Kickoff Understanding UX Design, right? So to begin, like I said earlier, to begin your journey in learning UI and UX, once you get an understanding of what that is all about, you can now progress to getting to know what UI is all about and other aspect of the skill, right? So that's why this week we're starting off with understanding UX design, getting to learn what UX design is all about, and we keep going and we keep going. Just like I said earlier, this learning process is self-guided. We are all on our personal journey, but we have accountable partners within our respective groups, right? So the group is basically to check on one another, to have a discussion as a team, but have it at the back of your mind that the learning process is individual, right? Nobody's going to be on your toes to say, oh, you've not done this, you've not done that. No, right? No, this is not like a school. Do you understand? So so the next slide is to talk about the resources, right? The resources we are going to be needing, or we are going to use to achieve this week's activity. So I categorize them into 3 phases, and as we progress, I might be adding some other categories, right? So the first is book. Book we need to read. So for the book, it's not necessary for us to read, the entire book. I'm going to be telling us, the chapters, we should read. And if you have spare time, why not? If you feel you can complete the entire book, it's fine. Or you can read more chapters, it's fine, right? At the end of the day, this is just like a guide. You don't need to follow it religiously, right? If you feel, learning, we all have our different ways in which we learn, we assimilate. So if you feel okay, you can read more, you can go, beyond the weekly activities, fine. Now we have the curriculum, and I'm very sure some people would go ahead of others, right? People that are really hungry for this, right? So we can do that. So the first one is the book. The book we are going to be reading is UX Design for Startup. Yesterday I shared a book in the resources channel on Slack, so we can access it from there, or the link is here. I will also post this link, the resources on the group. So I want us, for this group, I want us to read the chapter one very, very well, right? The chapter one will give us background knowledge of what UX design is about and more context. The other part is the article. So for the article, the title of the article is Understanding UX Design. So the article is by Interaction Design Organization. So Interaction Design Organization is a very, very reputable organization when it comes to UI and UX design or product design in general, right? They are like one of the leaders, right? So read this article very, very well. Try to understand it, don't rush, right? Take your time, try to understand what UX design is with this article. And lastly is a YouTube video. So you can see that the way the resources are splitted is book, article, YouTube video, right? I'm not like sharing 2 or 3 YouTube videos, or no. I carefully sourced for these resources, because I know that with these resources is enough. You don't need to start watching 5 YouTube videos. Sometimes the creators, right, or the teachers or the tutors can be repeating the same thing. So I don't want us to be reading so many things, right? This is enough. Once you read this for this week, you know that yes, you have more than enough knowledge about this topic, or this topic. So the YouTube video that I want us to watch is UX design tutorial for beginners, and the link is here also, right? So I'm going to share it in the group also. So these are the resources I want us to carefully read. I want us to carefully watch, look at, and I think during the week I'm going to be having calls with the group leaders, right? Just to know the updates, how people are doing, just to catch up on what we are doing, right? We have 20 in the learning pipeline. We have just 4 groups. So all the group leader, I'm going to get insight of how their group are doing, and just to know how to best improve these cohorts as we progress. Then the last slide is to ask questions, right? Is the Q&A question. So if you have any questions so far as regard all what I've said, kindly drop them in the live chat, and I'm going to answer them all, right? So if you have questions from everything that I've said so far, you need more clarity, please just drop it in the chat right now, and I'm going to answer them before we call it a day. Thank you. So I'll be expecting your questions. And I noticed that we are just 9 on this call, and this is not encouraging. This is not encouraging at all. 9 people on this call is not encouraging. In the cohort for this learning, we are more than 40, right? We are more than 40 that applied, and this is 9. I noticed something, and I think I need to just mention it. You notice that when I share this link on Twitter and on LinkedIn, it came as an idea, right? Because I'm always passionate about how I can help the community, how I can help my fellow designers, or people in tech in general, right? That was why I shared this idea of this community. Oh, how can we come together and we have a guided, section on how to, land our dream job or even how to get skilled and all of that. And um, 828 people actually registered, right? But when we wanted to kickstart the cohort, I was like, this 828 people, not everyone will be so serious or interested in this thing. Right? Some people just register because they feel like they want to register. That was why I created another application, right, for the cohort, just so that I can streamline the people that are actually interested. And we did that, and 100 and I think 170 something people registered, right? And that out of 828, 170 something people registered for the cohort, to show that over 600 people just registered, like they weren't like interested per se. And now on the call, I'm expecting, right? I'm not even expecting everyone because some emergency can happen, but I'm expecting at least 30 people to be on the call, and we have 14. What this just shows is that a lot of people don't really appreciate or cherish free things, and it is known, right? I can see, over the past years, there's organizations that come up with free, learning, free tutorials, free online classes, just to help people gather tech skill, learn tech skills, and all those things. But at the end of the day, people just take it, for granted. And now you can see that they are you can hardly see free courses to take, like when it comes to all this organization. The reason why they stopped is because people don't cherish it, right? Now they make it paid, and you and I know that for paid courses, right? For paid courses, if you actually pay your money to register for a course, to join a course, to join a community, to join anything, you are going to take it serious. Like, you won't even miss a class. If you have to miss a class, that means you have a very, very tangible reason to miss it, right? So we should try, right? I can tell everyone that this community, working on this community, is taking like 50% of my time. Like, I hardly have time to do my own personal stuff, right? You can see messages I'm dropping when I'm replying. All those time I should be using it for something else, right? But it's because of the passion. It's because of how committed I am to this thing. So the way I feel you guys can pay me is to just come to be active, to participate. That's when I can feel it's going to be like the exchange for payment, right? So if you know your friends that are not in the call, just try to communicate to them. And group leaders, please go to the respective group, tell those people to always join this class, and so that we can all benefit from it, right? Because at the end of the day, if some people are not active, if they're not serious with this class, and at the end of the cohort they will start saying, oh, it wasn't beneficial, oh, they didn't gain anything, but they weren't even active. So how do you expect to gain something when you're not active? Because one thing about tech skill is you have to put in your 100. If you don't put in the work, you won't get anything. It's what you put in that you get out. It's just like computer, right? Garbage in, garbage out. If you don't dedicate your time to learn something, you can't get the same result as others. It's not possible. Okay, so Toby said, okay, I think I need to start with Abayomi. Said, how can we get rid of imposter syndrome when coming up as a designer? Okay, so thank you for that question, and I think it's a good one. So everyone has faced that particular stage where you have this imposter syndrome. Oh, am I good enough? Oh, can I do this? Right. So the first thing I do tell people when they want to start any skill is to get to understand the skill, do their research, learn about the skill, like just read about the skill to know if it's something they really want to do, right? If it's a skill that even when you are sick, even when you are down, even when you feel unmotivated, you want to do, right? You still want to continue with it, right? So my advice for people facing imposter syndrome is just keep on doing what you're doing. Like, don't put your mind to, if I put this work out there, how will people take it? Or this work is bad. No, just keep doing. We are not perfect, right? When I started, my design wasn't as good as today. But like I said, the more you learn, the more the results you get. So you just need to believe in yourself, keep pushing, keep learning, and you see that the imposter syndrome will be a thing of the past. All right. So okay. Esther said, I appreciate. You're welcome. Praise Toby, I have a question. You said the function of the group is to be able to have discussion together. What would be the function of the group leaders then? Do they need to initiate discussion or okay? Praise, thank you so much for that. So the function of the group leader is to oversee, the activities of the group, is to oversee, the well-being of all the team members, right? As a group leader, you are a leader, right? And you should be able to, you know now in the group, let's say for example, there's one particular person that have not been, active. You can, message, hey, what's up? What's the progress? Or you can initiate a conversation to say, hey, team members, what's the progress? Have we guys read, like for this week, we have to read an article, we have to read a book, like the chapter one, we have to watch a video. So now you can say that, okay, have you, who has read the article, right? Who has watched the video? Have you, just to ask, the updates. And you can throw a question. Let's say from the video you watch, there was a particular thing that was said, and you just throw the question on the group just to know if some of the people that claim they've watched the video or read the article have actually, done all of those things. Just to, it's just an accountability partner as a group. Just everybody, just to know that okay, everybody we are getting along, and everyone can ask each other question. That is the purpose of the group leader, and the group leader will need to, will have, weekly meetings where I'm going to talk with all the group leaders and just get insight of how your group is doing, and what, suggestion, you guys have, and it keeps going like that. I hope, I was able to answer your question first. Abayomi said, "Me and my teller continue to bless as you shared knowledge with us." Thank you so much, Abayomi. Thank you, and God bless everyone. For joining also. And at the end of this quote, I'm very sure that we must have gathered more than enough knowledge to now continue our journey. So let me just talk more on that. So after this 12 weeks curriculum, like I said, it's not like it's not the end of the road, right? You still need to keep learning. So now the next cohort is going to, like, after this one ends, like space of 2 months. So within the space of 2 months, I expect everyone to keep learning. In the curriculum, there will be some things where you've not really understood well that you need to brush up. You need to keep learning, right? You need to you need to be realistic with yourself. There will be places where you need, I think I need to brush up. So at that 2 months duration, I expect everyone to keep learning. Be hungry for knowledge. Search online. You don't need to wait till I send you stuff, right? Go online. The way I learned, this skill, it was self-taught, right? It was Google. Google was my friend, and YouTube. Nobody, taught me. It was, I can still remember, it was in 2019 on a Friday evening that I said to myself, oh, okay, I want to get into, like I used to do data marketing and all those things. I was like, okay, I want to pivot into, product design. And I went on Google, search for free course. And I was so lucky, I found some free courses. I went on YouTube, and that was how the journey started. And I was hungry for knowledge. It was not even it was not like now, where on Twitter there are enough resources online. There are people sharing all this, free stuff, learning stuff, and all of that. There was nothing like that on Twitter. Everything you just need is YouTube, search it yourself, and all of that. And because I was so hungry, because I wanted to do it, like nobody was, chasing me, telling me, oh, do this, oh, do that. No, I was one chasing myself. So that's the kind of mindset I want us to have if we really, really, really want to do this, right? And I can tell us that in months to come, in years to come, we'll be so proud, and we'll be so proud of ourselves, to take that decision and to make that happen. All right. So okay, thank you so much, Pelumi. Thank you. Thank you for your time, sir. May you never get tired by the grace of God. Thank you. Is there going to be a group project in this learning? So now, group projects, there won't be any group projects. Like I said, this is not a group work, right? This is not a group work where, I would say, group 2, you guys should work on this. No, this is an individual journey. The essence of this group is just for us to, check up on each other, accountability partner, right? We all know the meaning of that, right? Just to, know how we are doing, right? I want us to do this individually. Like, what I mean by individually, if you have to work on a project, if you have to, learn something, if you have to improve something, do it alone. And the reason for that is, when you start to have a mindset that you need someone, you need to be in a group to make it happen, that's failure already. You're already setting yourself for failure, right? You're in the learning phase. You need to make sure that you are enough. If you want to learn something, go to YouTube, search for extra resources. Everything is well explanatory, and you get to learn it, right? Because over the years, like over the years, yeah, I've tend to see people in a group where, like all these online classes and everything, and they split them in group and everything. Like they would have to break, the tasks into group, and you see some focusing on that particular thing, and at the end of the day, they will take credit. And when you ask some of these people, question, they won't know it, because in the group they weren't even bothered or particular about other aspects of the task. They were just bothered about themselves and just feel, oh, after this, I'm good. No. So, but if you do this or everything on your own individually, you will get to know every aspect of that task in order to get the job done. So that's why I don't want any teamwork. The essence of the team, I've said it earlier, is to be an accountability partner, is to check on the progress of one another, is to, put one another on. If you are down, your fellow team member can cheer you up, and everybody is good, and the learning process, keeps going and keeps going. Sonia said, are we just learning UX? No. Check this question you asked just clearly stated that you didn't even check the curriculum breakdown. You didn't check the course breakdown, right? Go to the group, the Slack channel, go to the resources, you'll see the curriculum breakdown, you see all of the activities that, all of the topics, right, that we're going to be learning throughout this entire course. Just go there. Like, this question means you didn't even check, you didn't pay attention to it. So, okay, so I think we just have 2 minutes, to end this section. So, like I said, I'm going to be dropping all these resources in the group, in the Slack channel, under the resources channel. Do check it out. We all know what we are to do this, week, is to learn, understand UX design, and all the resources we need, from books to the YouTube videos to the articles. Everything will be sent, and I expect all group leaders to also, share it on their respective group, and let everyone know. And please, I want us to take this serious, right? Take this serious, right? Nobody's going to be, like chasing you around to learn all those things or to do the needful, right? So, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you so much, and I wish you guys, a very, very productive week ahead. And I can't wait, to hear the feedback from the group leaders when we have our meeting later on this week. Thank you, everyone. Do enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have fun and stay fab.